It's time for our overarm throwing. Aiming for a target can be a little bit tricky, so let's get practicing. Before we do, there are a few things we need to remember before we start teaching any of our fundamental movement skills. 1. Make sure you have your sticker hand and your sticker foot ready to support not only your teaching, but act as that visual cue for the children. 2. Make sure you over-exaggerate how big you're doing the movement so the children can see exactly how it's done. And 3, make sure that with any of our manipulative skills, we start by teaching the arms first before we include the legs. It's time to break down our overarm throwing. Step 1 of our throwing, we're just focusing on the hands so we can glue our feet to the ground. Make sure you've popped a sticker on the child's dominant hand so you know and they know what arm to throw with. Let's start with some windmill arms. Up and down. Get that shoulder nice and warm. Great job. All right. Step 2 of when we do our overarm throw is we need to practice how we are doing our big push forward with our throw. So we're going to do only half of our windmill. So we're going to start down and our arm's going to come back. And then we're going to glue our hand to our shoulder and we're going to push forward. Great job. If you want, you can pretend that we are shooting superpowers out of the palm of our hand. So we come back, we grab the superpowers to our shoulder, and then we have so much superpower that we need to put out into the world, we push it forward. Great job. Now, the next step for our overarm throw is we focus on the legs. So let's glue our hands to our hips as we practice those legs. When we take a big step forward with our foot, that is when we're going to be pushing out our superpowers. So it's really important that we have a big, strong step forward. Let's go. Ready? Step. Great job. Make sure that it is your opposite foot. So the foot that has a sticker on it. You can practice doing your strong steps by doing some marching during transition time or even active story time. Step 3 for our overarm throw is we need to put our arms and our legs together. So as we bring our arm back into our shoulder, we have so much superpower that we need to push out that our leg has to take a big stomp. You ready? And push and stomp. Let's try that again. Windmill back to the shoulder and push. Great job. All right. If you think you're ready, we can start to introduce an object. I have a beanbag, making sure that I can fit it in my hand and that it is light enough for me to throw. So, if you're ready, let's do a big overarm throw all together. Swing it back, push it up, make sure you're looking at where you're aiming, and push. Great job. Make sure you have a target or a net, or even you could stand in front of the child and catch that object. You might notice a few common errors the children do as they are learning a skill for the first time. It's really important that we learn to detect and correct these errors so that the children do not progress further with bad habits. Some common errors you might notice the children do as they are learning to overarm throw is that they don't know where to throw to. Make sure you set up a nice big target or have a friend ready to catch on the other side. Another thing that you might notice is they have no power behind their throw. Make sure their sticker foot is taking a big step forward as they release the ball or object. And lastly, you might notice that they get a little bit confused to when they actually have to let go of the ball. It's really important that as you're teaching them the skill, you have your hand up at your shoulder with your object, and as your hands start to push forward, that is when we are releasing the ball or the object. Happy overarm throwing.